Good morning, traders. Hope you had a blessed weekend. I did. I had fun getting that out there to you. And good morning to everyone on YouTube and on Discord. We did upgrade the Discord server yesterday. We can now have 300 people watching on Discord, but keep this in mind. I don't get paid over on Discord. If you're on YouTube, that's what's supporting the channel currently. If you watch over on Discord, I won't make a penny. So maybe you can run it in the background, help me out a little bit. If it knocks the revenue out, I got to make changes because we got to keep going here and we need money to do that. And I appreciate it. Thank you very much. I've been watching WISA this morning. Of course, everything goes up before our market opens. And then when our bell rings, it goes down. I kind of expected that. We've had a good last couple of days. Last week was not bad at all. It was better than the weeks before. Let's see if we can keep this going into the Christmas season. So thank you to everyone who contributed on helping us get this Discord server upgraded. It was really needed. We're to the point now where we may have to upgrade it often. I don't know yet. We're growing pretty rapidly. I think we picked up 100 over the weekend, maybe more, maybe 150. I know the indicator was going off every couple minutes. Got about a minute to go here before the market opens. You can see the up indicator. It'll work here in pre-market. It's letting you know that that candle is green right there. Wherever there's an up, there's a green candle. So you may see some ups before you get a volume spike. May key you in on a stock that may be going up. Without a spike, it could be just one or two people buying. About 15 seconds to go before the market opens. Make sure your chart is on EXT. That would be time and force, TIF set on EXT, or you won't be able to trade pre-market. And here we go. We're watching this volume spike number here. We want to see this percentage start growing. If it's frozen, it's not growing. It's just sitting there. It may look like it's doing something, but it's not. This one's slightly moving up. And if you're new here, this column is looking back 30 minutes for anything that's been moving. And it brings it up here to the top of the list. So the lower the score, the little the score, the more it's been moving. I'm not seeing these numbers ticking higher. Not a lot of buyer interest this morning. Watching these volume spike numbers for anything that may be rising. ALT, a mover from last week, is now climbing. It's not real strong. And if you're familiar with the dominator, this looks really good. The buyers are way down, the sellers are way down here, and the buyers are taking over. But the volume is very low, so be very cautious. There's not a lot of interest in this stock. Might just be one or two people buying a few shares. This one is down here in the earnings report. Must have been somebody bought it just in anticipation of good earnings, hoping that they're sitting there when it happens, because it's not moving. ALT going up a little further. It's not a real good pullback here. There's not enough volume to get a good position in this stock. If you got in now, you're guessing that it's going to go up. The volume is too low. Just think of it as a person like me. If I bought 5,000 shares, I'm one of 3 people in that volume. Do you want to buy something only 3 people may be interested in? I done missed the pullback on this one. I was watching the other screen. I should have been looking down here as well. Make sure you're set up on your own computer so you don't miss these things, because I get to talking and I lose focus. I'm trying to walk you through the setup. While I'm doing that, something somewhere else may take off. Could be a pullback right here, may bounce back up. Let's see what happens. This red candle needs to close. It's quite big, though. It may be just selling off. All right, that candle did close. This would be your entry, providing it's going to bounce. Right there. It should bounce back up to here. This is the second pullback, though. Don't just buy it because you see a piece of a green candle here, because this is what can happen. It could be over. Well, I don't like these cheaper stocks. You have hardly any room to make that decision. This one may run back up later today or later this morning. It is holding the price level right here. RDHL making a run up. I don't chase green candles. I'm going to wait on a pullback. So in reality, I'm really not late on this stock. I prefer to wait on a pullback just so I don't get caught by a big red candle after these green ones. All right, we may be setting up for a pullback here. Nice pullback. Need this candle to close, and the bounce will be between the two lines. Looks like the buyers are coming back in. That's this wick on the bottom. It was all red. The buyers come in and drive it back up. So we may run up from here. Buyers are not letting it go down. Let's see if they can hold it up. No entry on this one yet. Looks like there was more selling off. Let's mark the next low here. I'll remove that one since it didn't hit. Mark the next one. Well, not going to get a next one. The buyers are coming back in. They're keeping this stock up. It may run up. Got two lower wicks here, good size ones, so the buyers are dominating. Let's see if it runs up. It should. There it goes. Got to pay attention to these candle wicks. If it's red and it gets a wick on the bottom, the buyers are buying up what they're selling. Same thing happened here. We went red, they bought it up, and now we're rising a little more. You have to watch each price action candle. If you don't do that, you're going to get stung. Wicks on the bottom, not on the top, unless you're shorting. You can see how beautiful this dominator's working. Look at that run right there. Look at that angle. Strong volume coming in on the buyers, and it picked up on the entire run. You can see the sellers that were coming in. The volume of the seller side was rising up here. Good job, Warlock. Hope you make a ton. Price action and volume. That's how we trade here for scalping. This is volume. This is volume. This is volume. This is volume. This is price action. You can see how strong it's holding this price range with the wicks on the bottom. We may run up here again, it looks like. We're still looking good on Dominator. If you're paying attention to what I'm saying, you should be able to do this every day. You should be able to read each candle, know where the buyers are, and we can see in the candles, actually, without even looking down here, where the buyers were. Sellers were trying to pull it down. The buyers were bringing it up. That's an indication of strength. I did not buy this stock. I basically walked you through it. I was late getting to it even. So basically what you need to do is exactly what I did. Would I trust this third pullback? Probably not. We did get the first one here with a little run up, and then we got weakness right here because they were trying to sell it off. But the buyers overcame it and brought it up to here. Would I trust it up here? Nope, probably not. You can see the indicator denominator is pretty much flat now. The sellers are probably going to come up because they'll probably be taking profit here soon. You'll see some red candles coming in. And you'll see this red line rising. This is sellers. Keep in mind, this angle is not the angle of the price. This is higher volume. This is lower volume. Never say, oh, the green and yellow or whatever's going up, I'm in, because it could go up and this price can go down. Because this red line could be right below it, pulling it down. So you can see the wicks on the top starting to develop. These are sellers. The buyers are trying to bring it up. Now the sellers are trying to bring it down. I'm seeing another stock here, another penny stock on the move. It's already had its pullback, but it sold off quite a bit, more than 50%. Don't know if I would chance it or not. Watching the volume spike indicator. If you're new here, I'll do a walkthrough about 6:30. I'll describe every little indicator we have up here and what their performance is. So every time you hear me say, I don't think I would trust it, you might as well buy it because this is what happens. It just runs up. This is exactly what I mean by the market is not predictable. You never know what the buyers and sellers are doing. We can get a good indication by reading price action, but that's about all we can get. Sonia, are you using candle trend and not the standard candles? I have not updated pre-market. I may have just added the name risers because people kept asking me, is pre-market the same as pre-market riser? So I may have just updated the word. I mean, nowadays, every word on Discord needs to match every word on the video because I get questioned over it if I don't do that. Sometimes I can't rename and update the same name. It doesn't let me. I have to change the name. Or I can't upload it because it says the file already exists. So sometimes I have to change the name. And then the video's older than me changing the name and everybody questions it. Is this the right one? I mean, I understand, but I'm doing the best I can. Bunch of cheaper stocks running this morning. I probably should start buying them or I'll never get anything. Where else would you go that gives you this many choices in pre-market that lets you know everything that's barely moving? And to think I was paying $800 a year for somebody's scanner to call out one stock to me. Not anymore. Good job, Who Loves Lunatic. You made more than I did. I didn't get in it. Good job, Sonia. So do I have too big of a delay? Do I need to restart the connection on the internet? It only takes a second. It's not like a reboot. I disconnect the stream and reconnect the stream is all I do there. Yeah, we're probably not going to get better than 5 or 7 seconds. I'll leave it alone. LSDI still trying to go up. That would be the third pullback rise right there. May not go far. Usually that third one is when it's over. Starting to slow down now. The next big run will probably be around 7 o'clock. I'll go ahead and do my walkthrough. And the moment I do that, if you see a stock rising, you know what to do, because every time I get into a conversation, one of them takes off. We'll see. So if you're new here, I'm Ricky Gaspard. I've been trading since 1990. I'm a guy who trades from his home office. I'm also a ThinkScript coder, and I write my own scripts. As you can see here on the screen, I have created a volume scanner, and it's looking for volume going up and volume going down. That's the difference in bullish and bearish. And when it's going up, you can see it reflected in the price, and when it's going down, you can see it reflected in the price. Once I mastered this code here, I took it to many levels. The next level was this momentum indicator. So I programmed it to look back 30 minutes for any stock that's moving. If it's moving just a little bit, it gets a lower score. If it's moving a lot, it gets a higher score and crawls up to the top of the list. So if you see something running up to the top of the list, that's probably a good one to try to buy. We like to play pullbacks, and this would be a pullback, and I'll get into that in a second. This weekend, we released the new pullback scanner, and in that pullback scanner, I also created these up and down arrows so we could use them in pre-market. So when you see an up here, that tells you the current candle is up after a pullback. So this is a red candle. This would be a pullback. And it tries to notify you right here on the right-hand side. Sometimes it's not 100% accurate, but nothing is. but it's pretty close to 98% accurate, so you have to keep your eye on it. Pre-market's kind of hard for these kind of indicators to work because volume is probably non-existent until news comes out and everybody starts buying the stock, which moves the volume. But previously, you can see here the stock had no volume until news came out or until buyers came in. So this indicator is probably not going to be too efficient until the regular session at 8:30 my time. Out of these indicators, I was able to create this bearish and bullish signal here. It's watching the current candle to let you know if there's more buyers coming in or more sellers. Down here, I created a volume watch indicator. This is the entire volume of this stock, and it's letting you know if there's more buyers or more sellers in the overall volume of the stock. Well, this one got to the point where I couldn't keep in my head, was there more buyers or more sellers over a period of time? So I converted this over to a line volume indicator. So this green line is the buyers, the red one is the sellers. And you can see right now the sellers have outnumbered the buyers, and we get this pullback here. And down here you can see the buyers and the sellers were having a battle all the way up. So this was probably a rough ride going to the top. And you can pretty much see that rough ride with these short candles and red candles and shorter and longer and red. And it indicates a rough ride. Down here it means the volume is low. If the lines are going up to the top, the volume is increasing. So this would be high volume. This is low volume. So the angle of these lines doesn't necessarily mean the angle of the price. This only means low volume and it's rising to higher volume. So I created this pullback strategy as well. This is the 5 EMA and the 13 EMA and the 34. The 34 I put on here manually. You can choose to use it or not. But we wait for this crossover. Let me start to the beginning. We get a volume spike. The stock is rising. We come over here to this pullback indicator and we notice if the 5 EMA has crossed above the 13 EMA, and it did in this case, you'll see these spike arrows start popping in as people are coming in to buy the stock. And I had to stop because there's a stock taking off, a good price range. Now remember where I was. Give me a second. It's kind of late to chase it now. I should have been watching sooner. So waiting on a pullback. I can almost assure you there's going to be some profit takers in here, and nobody else has really seen it yet. We have, because we have it on these seconds, small percentages, so we came up on our scanner real soon. So we should catch some red candles coming in here soon, which would be the pullback. They're already starting to take profit. You can see it pulling down. Is it going to pull back or not? We are getting a pullback here. It may be minor. If this is really good news, it could run up from here. You can see how strong the buyers are down here. So it's going to run up. It's not going to pull back. Up another $1 right there if you got in. Other $3 right there if you got in. Well, 2.5. Guys, you really got to pay attention to what I'm telling you. You need to learn exactly what I'm saying. You need to be able to call this out to yourself. That was some good money right there. Are you on EXT? If you're not on EXT, you're not going to be able to buy the stocks. So now we're getting a pullback. So we may get a few more out of this one. I'm not going to say a few more what, because it could be a penny. I won't jinx it like that. I'm going to remove this lower line and set that other one on that red candle when it stops. It should pull back down to here. Okay, that's another entry here. Let's see if we get a bounce or if we go below. We're going to get the bounce, it looks like. Nice. Did you see me call that out? That's another dollar right here, isn't it? So there was a possibility to make a couple bucks a share on this stock. Could have played it twice if you had the funds to do so. Good job, Michael. When you see something like this is when you sell the farm, right? It's over now. Don't chance it past this point. Lock in the profits. Move on to the next one. That was beautiful. So I left off here with the crossover and these arrows coming in. These arrows are also letting you know that there's a volume spike happening in every green candle. So anyways, I created these indicators all off of this indicator, and they're all working together to bring you stocks like this. If you're not set up like this, head over to Current Setup on Discord. There's 5 files to load. Load all 5 of them. Meet us back here in the morning, and you'll be doing the same thing that I'm doing. You just need to learn how to walk yourself through it. Once you learn it, you should be on your way to some profit. Start small. There's always something more to learn, and especially if you're new to trading, don't just jump in here because these candles are green. I'm warning you. Don't do it. You got to know what you're doing. You got to be able to walk your way through it like I'm walking you through it. So until you get to this point, I would not trade. I would paper trade. We make it look easy, but it's not easy. Promise me. Promise you it's not. So if you haven't been to our YouTube channel, and most of you have, I'll put the link to YouTube down here in the chat link. Subscribe to my YouTube channel. I need everyone over there to watch the YouTube videos. Subscribe, leave a comment, let YouTube know what I'm doing over here. It also lets me know what I'm doing over here. And if you like it, you leave a comment, and it makes me feel good, and I earn a few pennies. Beneath every YouTube video in the description, you will find a link to our Discord. That's where you find all of these files. So once you join Discord, the link is in the chat. Head over to Start Here, and it will walk you through what you need to do to get set up. Never trade off of my screen. My screen is sometimes delayed. Way more than you want to know, because it's going to cost you money if you don't listen to me. Trade off of your own platform, not mine. My stream is for demonstrational purposes. Yours should be for trading. You'll see me miss a few stocks every now and then as I blabber my jaw and walk you through these things, and that's been happening for months. And yes, I do lose a few dollars because I don't click the mouse because I don't see it until too late. I did get a little bit of this one. I won't tell you how much because it wasn't very much, but it was over $100, and I'm happy with that. So if you subscribe to us over the weekend, welcome home. Get on over on our Discord, meet the other investors. We have the trading floor with Gregster and River Place Dad doing their due diligence on stocks. And they post stocks throughout the day when there's one available. Sometimes I join them and post a few of my own. Visit our trading floor where it's me, Bob. He's pretty much the top of options in this channel for sure. He lets you know what you need to do. He gives you pointers. He even holds live streams to walk you a little bit deeper in the options, so make sure you reach out to him and let him know that you're interested in what he's doing. Attend these live streams every morning to learn how these indicators work. This morning was a good example. Hopefully you didn't miss out. Hopefully you clicked the button, made a few bucks as we wait on the next one, and thank you for joining us this morning. Thank you, Domingo. Very much appreciated. So this is a good example why you come here every morning. What if you didn't have anything for 2 or 3 days, and we've seen that. We've seen where we didn't have but maybe 20 cents, one stock pick. And then one day you wake up and you come here and you see this, and you can make up for all of those days you didn't have anything. You have to always be ready in the stock market. Things can change at the spur of the moment. So don't get depressed on non-trade days. Save your money for days like this. Sometimes it's just not possible to make money every day. And sometimes it's possible to make money 3 days in a row, which we have done so starting last Thursday. Thursday, Friday, and now Monday. Prior to those 3 days, I don't think we did very good. We may have had 1 or 2 good ones over the prior week. So join us every morning, whether it's good or bad. Fill up the coffee cup, bring your lunch, bring your dinner, whatever time zone you're in, and sit here with us and learn this. It's very crucial that you learn it if you want to make money in the market. Thank you, Michael Chapman. Very much appreciated. Helps us keep going. And if you haven't noticed, all of this is free. Nobody's giving this kind of information away. I'm reaching out to everyone who was struggling. It's been a very tough 3 years. And we won't go there, but you know why. I was still making a little bit of money, but I saw many investors were losing, couldn't find any stock picks. So I'm reaching out to everyone. I want everyone to be able to sustain the damage that's being done in the market. And let's keep rolling here. This would be a bounce. As I'm talking, what do I tell you to do? Keep watching, because when I'm talking, they go up. There's lots of money between those lines, but keep in mind we're on low volume. The initial run up was here. So now we're coming back down with profit takers. Is there enough buyers to bring it back up to here? We're currently facing a red candle, so probably not a good idea to get in right now. That run could be over. You're welcome, 5-star. So, Melanie, I don't know what 7 minutes behind. Is anybody experiencing 7 minutes behind? We are going to get that pop to this line up here. We do have 3 green arrows. We don't have any red ones, so the buyers are outnumbering the sellers. And if you look down here, that statement I just made is true. The buyers are outnumbering the sellers. Possible couple dollars here if it happens. I would definitely watch my stop real close and get out if it starts dropping. There's lots of money there. It could be a heavy loss. The big red candle here could cost you $5 a share, so keep that in mind. Sonia, maybe you should get out of YouTube and come back in and see if that corrects it. So while we're not focused on a stock, I'm going to do a quick reconnect. It ain't going to take but a few seconds. Connecting back. And the stream should be back up. Jim, my minimum is usually 1,000. I don't buy cheaper stocks, though. I try to buy stocks $5 and higher unless we run into good stocks in the morning like this one here. This is why I buy $5 stocks and up, because these are the kind of moves you can get out of them. When it's 50 cents going to 55, I can't get interested in them. I've also known to been buying 5,000 shares of a $10 stock. I've done that before. It's really risky. I kind of quit doing that for a while with this market. So my minimum's been about 1,000. And if I don't trust it, I may limp in with 500. The reason I use 1,000, if I can get 50 cents out of it, I'll make $500. That's the only reason. You got to buy enough to make it worth the trouble. We are going to make it back up to that resistance line. It looks like it's inching its way up there. Not the way I prefer to make my money. The money was back here, and the money was on that pullback. So after this, I was done with it. My money came in here. So if you watch me describe these stocks, I can pretty much call out every time what this stock's going to do. I do it over and over and over. Sometimes I'm wrong, but not very often. Just like right here when I said, okay, we're going to get a pullback and it could run up and give you another dollar. It did just that. And I do that quite often, not to brag, but just to let you know I know the system. And you can know it as well as I do if you pay attention. Andy, we had a launch of a scan and an indicator Sunday. Go to YouTube. If you haven't subscribed, and it sounds like you haven't, or you would have got a notification on YouTube that lets you know I'll release a new indicator. So we're coming up on 7 o'clock. We have about 8 minutes to go. Actually, we have 11. That's going to be the next chance for another good run up. This was beautiful here. I'm glad some of you caught it. You should have had no fear here getting in. It was just rocking. Yeah, it's not going anywhere now. It's holding the price range, though. Might be a good one for market open. Good job, Warlock. So if you notice on these pullbacks, all I'm doing, let's pretend none of these candles are here. And we're at this candle here. And this candle stops and starts coming down. I will mark the body of this candle as resistance. When this red candle stops, I will mark the body of the bottom of the body as support. And in a very high percentage, this candle usually bounces back up. Maybe not this high, but maybe to the resistance level. Almost every time I mark it out. But you don't have to believe what I'm telling you. If you show up here every morning, you will see it happen. And it's all because of these indicators. If I wasn't triggered off that this stock was moving, I wouldn't find these pullbacks. I'd have to be clicking from stock to stock to stock to looking for pullbacks. Where if we can find them running up, we can actually wait on the pullbacks. If you miss this stock, you still could have got $1.25 a share, $1.50 without chasing it. You're welcome, Joel. So I'm reaching out to everybody. If you're having trouble making money, you need to come and watch these live streams. Once you're into the money and you're very comfortable, if you feel like you want to contribute to the cause and help me to keep this going, we do have a Patreon link. You can select the amount you want to pay. Also, there's Super Chat. There's a $ below the box you type in. You click that $, click Super Chat if you want to make a one-time donation. It's not a requirement. It's all voluntary. If I do you some good, let me know. Help us keep this going. There's people struggling. They need to know this information. Once they figure out this is for real, then they tell somebody else and we keep growing. The more we grow, just think of it this way, the more we grow, what if there was 10,000 of us that saw this? What if 5,000 of those 10,000 were buying it? How high would it have gone then? So the larger we grow, the more money everyone makes, because everyone's going to be focused in right here, playing the same stock. And the more investors we have buying it, the higher it's going to run. Jim, you don't buy green candles, you buy red ones. Right here's a good example. You can buy this green candle when it's short and play this green candle. But if you try to chase this, you could make some good money chasing it, don't get me wrong, but you could lose a lot of money chasing it too. And most people, when they chase them, if you're like me, you lose money. Because the moment you get in, it goes red. But if you wait on that pullback, your odds are increased drastically. So if you join us every morning, I don't have to prove this to you. It'll prove itself. Just follow what I'm saying. Learn what I'm saying. Draw these lines like I'm saying. And you can be just like me, except not as old. So we have about 3.5 minutes to go before 7 o'clock. Maybe some news will come out. Maybe it won't. Yeah, I don't think Mara's going to give me that $7 back. I may have to start playing the swings on it. It did good last week, I believe. Good morning, Obispo. Actually, good morning to everybody who's popped in. And to everyone on Discord, if you missed my morning, hello. About 2 minutes to go before 7 o'clock. Be watching the numbers. This is the all stock scan. Everyone knows about this one. There's no filters, only the price you like to trade. And the volume, I forgot what the volume, no, there's no volume on here whatsoever, I don't think. And then it's sorted by volume descending. So if you get only A stocks up here, it's because you're not sorted by volume descending. So what's not up here sometimes pops in down here. About a minute to go before 7 o'clock. There is a possibility we could get a pop back up here at 7. There is another market opening at that time. About 10 seconds to go before 7 o'clock. Be watching this column and be watching this stock on your computer. And let's see what happens. There's that EGYP. It did make it back up there to the top. There was a $3 there if you hung on that long. I don't trade stocks channeling. I wait for breakouts. That would have been too scary, bouncing down $1 or $2 and up $1 or $2. That's a lot of money swinging back and forth. I'm watching SSNT here, 821. It's bumping up. Going to have to wait on a pullback on this one. These are really not pullbacks. These are sell-offs. They're too long to be called pullbacks. So be careful here. We would wait on a pullback. We wouldn't chase this because it could just go red. Because of this weakness back here, you got to be really cautious. SSNT making a couple of big green candles here. That was a $2 jump. Too bad it wasn't after a pullback. So if you took your chances, you probably made quite a bit on this one as well, and you should be out. If you made that $2, I would be out. Or if you're braver than me, you're still hanging on with the possibility of losing what you just made. We did not, Frank. It just took off at 7 o'clock from about here. It would have been a chaser if he had to chase it. And then you'd probably be in the hole with these sellers right here coming in. Here come more buyers that have now found it. No problem. Lots of opportunity this morning to make some money. It's a continuation of Thursday and Friday. I'm watching this indicator here. This is the buying volume leaning over, leaning towards the bottom. I'm also seeing that the sellers are leaning down, so it's holding pretty strong. Now we got a slight curve up. You can see that the volume is increasing on the seller side. It's working its way to the top. Those tall candle wicks are a warning. There's lots of sellers in these wicks keeping this stock down. Remember, wicks on the bottom if you're buying, wicks on the top if you're shorting. So how many people believe there's more money in pre-market than market open? How many of you have changed your mind? You don't have to fight the struggle of millions of people trying to sell it as it's going down. The panic is not as strong. Once they take off, you're almost guaranteed they're going to take off. Almost guaranteed. And if you miss them, you're almost guaranteed a pullback, like right now. Let's see what happens. If I can calm my mouse down a little bit and land on the body of the candle, I'll just mark it there and here. So it looks like it's going to sell off. If not, it could bounce between 1087 and 1255. We're waiting to see if it reverses. So probably not a bounce here. Profit takers are coming in. They may sell it off. I would stay clear of this one. Did not get a play. Didn't even get a temptation of a green candle for that bounce right here. Would have been nice for $2, but it didn't happen. A lot of people say, why don't you trade market open? Well, it's usually because I made mine in pre-market and I'm done. I don't like trading after 8:30 because at 9 o'clock, you have to trade in the volatility of the open for one. Then around 9 or 9:30, it's so dead, you're just sitting there waiting on something to happen. I strongly prefer pre-market. Even if nothing's happening, I'll wait. I don't mind waiting on stocks to move like this. I mean, there is money to be made at market open. Don't take me wrong. But it's much easier in pre-market. There's not so many people trying to sell it off. They're usually not even moving until something happens. And then when we jump in, we help them move a little more. And then when other people find it after the first initial run, we may get a second chance to get more. Because we get in first notice up here. If it's moving a little bit, we know. I can click right there and see that one candle starting to move. It says up and bullish. The problem is the percentages aren't moving and the volume is low. Well, hopefully you see what's happening here. We are truly blessed. I struggled for months with this indicator, and through lots of prayers, my prayer was answered. And as usual, I was overthinking it. The day I deleted some of the code is the day it took off. And then this indicator grew into everything else, and it ended up being the ultimate system. And that's my opinion of it. I don't have to prove it to you. They work so well, they prove themselves to you what's happening up here. I love that part. I don't have to convince you. I just have to show you. RDHL, we saw it back here first. It sold off. I call these green candles people that hope it goes up again. This is where they should have been. That's where you were. You were somewhere in here. Amen, Brenda. Once you're a believer, you get blessed. I don't care who you are. I don't know where this one came from, but it could be happening here. From 215 to 230. Let's see if we get a bounce back up to here. It's giving indications that it might do that. I'm not liking this rollover right here. So maybe it won't. I'm not liking this buyer line turning up right here. Because that's what happens when they meet like that. Now they're both equal. Keep in mind, these are buyers and sellers. This is not a momentum indicator. It's counting shares. This would be an awful stock to buy and a high risk stock. You can't really predict them when they're like this. Low volume right here. And I probably failed to mention this. When you see a volume spike, your eyes should go immediately to this current bar volume and see if it's really has a high volume flow. Not a specific number, but a lot of numbers. It's ticking away. People are there. They're active. They're buying. You don't want to see 6,500, 6,600. You want this number pumping. And if you click the mouse and you're wrong, immediately get out. I don't care if you wasted a trade, just get out. If you have any doubts, get out. There's always going to be another one. You may be on the PDT rule and use one of your trades. I don't care. Save the money, cut the losses. If you're wrong, get out. I'm not right all the time. I don't think there's a person on this planet that's right all the time. So we're into calm now. It's after 7. If something pops up, it's going to be rare. We may have one or two temptations between here and 8:30 or 9:30, wherever you are, or 4:30 in the morning if you're on the West Coast. So enjoy your coffee as we wait and watch this volume spike indicator. That's all you need to do. Just watch this column. It's that simple. Domingo, better to make up a $30 loss than a $300 loss. So just get out. And then I guarantee you when you get out, it's going to go up. But you protected yourself. You didn't know that was going to happen. And yeah, you may have got in a little early, but you have to protect yourself. Concentrate more on not losing than you do winning. So I'm sure you've already heard me several times say when I start talking, they're going to go up. Well, at 8 o'clock, I take a break. They go up then too. So you're not going to get all of them, but you're going to get a lot of them. Kind of back referencing what I said earlier, you may not get something for 1 or 2 days, and then all of a sudden you get a bottle rocket that makes up for it. And keep this in mind, we're not in the greatest market, but yet we're still pulling out profits like this. So if you took this time to learn, just think what could happen to you in a bull market. You're going to wish you had more money to put out there. I promise you, you will. Man, I need more money. I done made so much and I'm out of money. That's how that goes. It's hard right now. Well, it was. But in a bull market, you may get 3 or 4 or 5 in pre-market to buy. Maybe 10. I've seen 10. Thank you, Wayne. Very much appreciated. Helps me keep going here. Also put it back into the server and into the Discord, and I apply the money wherever it takes to keep us growing. I want this to be pretty big. Domingo, I know the feeling. Joel, it's just common sense. But that common sense don't come easy. Believe me, I was just like everyone here. It cost me thousands of dollars to get to where I am today. Hopefully, I can help you save some of those losses as you're learning. Thank you, RD. Very much appreciated. And I only use what you see up here. I don't even use, I put this ATR and RVOL up here, but I have RVOL here. I was going to take it off of here and save the column, but I don't find myself using it very often. I'm focused right here, and of course down here. So I really don't care about anything else. I'm a numbers watcher. I watch percentages. I watch volume numbers. I'll watch for pullbacks. That's not a number, that's an action. I mean, you can quickly reference, do I have a green label here? Do I have a green label here? Is green above red? Is there a green candle? Is it going up? Yes, it is. You become so fast at it, you don't even have to hear me talk. Spike. Yeah, it's got volume. Green, green, crossover, green arrows. Good job, Kenny. So in the past, I was just like everybody else, loading every indicator I could find because somebody said you got to use this. This one will work for you. Before you know it, you got a spider web on your screen. A lot of Christmas ornaments flashing red and green and blue and yellow and purple and shadows and clouds. And it's kind of like everybody reinvented the wheel. Still the same wheel, just displayed in a different format. But once you learn this, you probably can eliminate everything else, mark out the pullbacks, which is you and these few indicators and some candles, mark out the pullbacks and move on without all of these bells and whistles. They're mainly here for confirmation so that I can show you what to look for. And I absolutely love this one. And to be honest, I love all of it, but I could trade without all of this. I could trade off of these two indicators. I don't even need the up. These two indicators and a pullback and some candles. That's all I need. I'm not seeing JFBR in my list. Maybe I haven't refreshed yet. And there's the pullback right there. The first one. Mark this one here. Mark the pullback when that red candle stops. If it stops. And I always mark out the bodies. If you notice, the bodies work because it only returns back to the body. Good call out, Kenny. Even if it doesn't work, that tells me you're paying attention, right? You're paying more attention than I was. Of course, it wasn't on my scans. Let's see what happens right here. 476. Bouncing up. So that's about 18 to 20 cents right there. Actually, it's more than that, 50 cents. So if it starts struggling, you could get out with 50 cents profit right there. Or you could even get out at break even and not even have a loss. This was quite a pullback. That was a lot of red candle there. I like to see them be about half of the previous candle. When they pull back this far, there's a lot of sellers took profit on that trade. Ken, you can put anything you want on the chart that makes you successful. I'm not telling you not to use them. If you can apply this to your normal strategy and it enhances your strategy, go for it. Just because I use this system doesn't mean you have to. You can apply the technique to your strategy and do the same thing. So this one flopped, but if you would have bought it right here and got out, anytime it was up here, you still made a little money before this devastating red candle. So the moment you click buy, you never take your eyes off the screen. You're watching for a top wick. If that top wick starts coming in, you're out because it's not going to go up. Then we'll look back 10 minutes from now and it had gone from 442 all the way to 649. That's how that goes. The moment I look at something else and return, it'll be up there. I don't really care though. It happens all the time. I'm used to it. Alfredo, thank you for the contribution. If I didn't tell you, let's keep this going. Let's help everybody. Help me pay it forward. Let's get it out there. It's only going to help you make more money is all it's going to do. There's going to be a lot more people buying the same stock. There's already groups out there doing the same thing. We'll just be another leg off of the groups that are doing it that way. I'm really not planning on volume and members to make money. I still stick with the strategy, whether you're here or not, whether you know what I'm buying or not, it still works the same way. It's just that in a group, there's more of us doing it. See you later, Alfredo. You have a blessed day. Jimmy, welcome aboard. If you're new here, I highly encourage you not to trade. Watch for a while. Quite a while. Let me put emphasis on that. What we do here looks easy, but it's really not. Thank you, Joseph. Very much appreciated. God bless you, brother. It's going to be quiet. I'm not going to talk your ears off through this time period. The market's pretty much dead. It's probably going to be dead till market open, maybe about 8:10 or 8:05. We may see them pumping one up before market open, and if they do that, be careful that they don't sell off before the market does open. Sometimes we'll catch one and they'll raise it right on up to about 8:15, and then all of a sudden, boom, they sell it off. So be cautious of that. VIRX. It ran up, sold off almost everything that it ran up. So would I trust this one? No, I wouldn't. I'm going to go fill my coffee cup. I'll be back in 5. All right, I'm back. EJ, we have a large cap trading room. I don't trade large caps. I trade pre-market and market open, and I'm done. But we do have a large caps room on Discord. Large caps are harder to trade with these kind of indicators because there's a lot of shares traded, but they're minimal purchase amounts. Like, give me 10 shares of Amazon or give me 10 shares of Tesla. And it doesn't really trigger these indicators off like it does on these mid-range and smaller price stocks, where we're buying 1,000 shares or 5,000 shares. These indicators work a lot better on mid-cap and smaller. Not a pullback, it's a sell-off. We've already looked at it once this morning. Not saying it couldn't bounce, it's just not a pullback. If you look at it, it was $1.89 and it's all the way down to $1.08. Would I stick my money in there? I don't think so. It lost more than it gained. Unhuman. I'm sure you can use it in both directions if you set it up accordingly. I haven't programmed it for shorts because I rarely short. There's a lot more money in catching them going up than going down. Of course, that's to be debated, I suppose. Because if you're good at shorting, that statement I just made could be wrong. But I prefer up, as you see this morning. But I'm sure you could reverse everything and play it downwards. Good morning, OT. Good example this morning, those two stocks could have made anywhere between $3 and $5 a share on two different plays. Yeah, I watch them too, Fun Human. I kind of feel for the companies. I mean, we're not in such a good market, and they've been through so much. If you're a company owner like me, you'll probably understand what I'm talking about. But when we're in a bad economy, I don't like beating these other companies down into the dirt to make it even worse. And that's mainly because I'm a business owner. I wouldn't want anybody beating my company down to make it worse. If we were in a bull market and these things were running up and I could short the pullbacks and could short the profit takers, yeah, that's when I want to short. Not when we're in a bad economy and taking a baseball bat to them and beating them down even further. I have a feeling, I have a soul, and that's what I believe. Is there money to be made there? Yes, there is. But there's also heartbreak there, in my opinion. You have to have a margin account to short stocks. I'm a cash accountant. It's been years since I had a margin account, so I don't really know the rules anymore. It's been at least 15 years since I had a margin account. I have never played Forex. I've done options. I've bought stock. I've never traded futures. Once you find a sweet spot in the market, that's what you stick with and you perfect it. You don't need to go anywhere else. I mean, there's a very good possibility you could have made $5,000 this morning in pre-market. Do you know anybody else that makes $5,000 a day? Do you know anybody that makes $1,000 a day? Pretty quiet, isn't it? You come here every morning, you will see that these times repeat over and over and over. There's an activity period, there's a dead zone, there's nobody trading zone. And you watch about 8:10, 8:05, 8:10, we'll see one being pumped up here a little bit. Then they'll sell it off before market opens. It repeats itself over and over and over. And the more you participate, the more you pick up on these things. And the better you become. You're welcome, Joel. And I enjoy doing it just as much as you enjoy hearing it. I may be training you on something you didn't know existed, but I'm also keeping my mind refreshed. The more I repeat it, the more I remember it. So I'm training both of us, not just you. Keeps my mind fresh as well. And I get to trade along with all my brothers and sisters, which is always a blessing. So I saw earlier somebody said I should make a video to keep everybody up to date. That's what these live streams are. That's why I hold them 5 days a week. If you just watch the pre-recorded live streams, it's the same thing over and over and over and over. I don't need one extra one. maybe a quick video to say go watch the live streams? Doesn't get any better than live training. Now you know I'm not cutting the video and only playing the good parts, right? It's live. Joel, my first trade was probably early to mid 80s. And it was the biggest loss of my life. It was one of those, we didn't have all this technology. So it was just, hey, you should get some of this from another trader. And I got some of it all right. Unfortunately, it didn't work out. So I started studying and I came up with the method, and then I started teaching the stock market in the 1990s. Then I got tired of doing that because it was pretty much the same thing. What's everybody buying? We didn't have these electronic scanners. There was no coding back then. So I kind of let that fade away. Then I had a guy call me and say, hey, you have 800 people underneath you. Could you put my company out there? And it was a company called Nuke, N-U-K-E, and it doesn't exist anymore, but they were creating nuclear batteries for the satellites. And their stock was 50 cents. So we all bought it, and nothing happened. So we held, and 6 months later, that stock took off and went to $4.50, and everybody got out. And that was the trigger to make me keep going. But it's way different nowadays. Now I'm applying technology, coding, monitoring. This is way easier than what I was doing. So be careful here. You got the sellers chasing the buyers. They're both in this run. OT, all you have to do is go to a YouTube video and click on the description. There's a link in every one of them. If you're sharing it with somebody else, I prefer you have them subscribe to YouTube first anyway. And they can click the link in the description. If they don't come through YouTube, it doesn't benefit us in our growth. Ken, I'll see what I can do for that. Howard, if you join our Discord, I'll post a link down here. And OT, you can use this link too, but I'd prefer you send them to YouTube to sign up. Howard, if you join our Discord, head on over to Start Here, and it'll get you going. Make sure you accept the disclaimer when you're signing up, or you won't see any channels. Make sure you read the rules. The rules are important. I actually need to create a rule. I had a few people change my indicators, and that's against the rules. Howard, if you go to current setup, that's every file you see on my screen. There's steps 1 through 5. Just load them. Don't worry about the names. The names change, as I explained earlier. But load steps 1 through 5, and you'll have this set up. It won't look like this because I'm on 5 monitors, but you'll have to figure out your best viewing preference on your computer. So if you're going to do a setup like this while it's dead, let me see, make sure this is not going up, and it is. We don't have any volume, so I'm not worried about this one. So the first thing you want to do if you're going to set up is you want to go to this gear icon, time axis, and you want to uncheck this keep time zoom. And then you want to go back and set up your screen like you want it. When you get everything exactly like you want it, you go back to that gear icon in time axis and you click back on this keep time zoom, and it'll keep all the windows where you put them. Then once you do that, on your chart window, you have setup up here. Click on setup and save the workspace as, and name it and save it. Now, because I'm running multiple monitors, sometimes it doesn't get all of my windows in the exact spot. Like every morning, it ends up putting this one here on my desktop, on my laptop, and I have to drag it up here. That's the only one I have to drag. The rest of them are there. And if you sort by a certain indicator, it's not going to remember that you sorted by an indicator because it's not part of the main setup. So once you load your workspace back, you're going to have to click back on Momo and sort it back the right way. So if you're wanting to know how I did this, I just went to, let's just say I wanted to put 2 of these scans that I've created in my watch list, and I want to show them on a screen. All I did, this is the pre-market tab, not the pre-market tab, the market watch tab on your ThinkorSwim right next to scan. You click on that, you set it up like you want with the certain indicators. Then you select the scan you want to view on it. Once you get it to this point, if you want this one down here, you can just click on these three bars and click detach. And it'll give you another window exactly like this one, and you just change the scan on it, and you'll have two different windows. You can detach your chart window and put it over here in this corner, and you can resize all of these. So all I did was detach a bunch of windows and put the information on each one that I wanted to show. Toss is not going away. I've already called them and asked them. I believe it's their platform that's going away, not ThinkorSwim. Thank you, Sonia. Very much appreciated. God bless you. Martina, if you haven't loaded Dominator since after Thanksgiving, you probably need to delete it and load it back. When it first came out, if you can remember, it had to build up before it started plotting lines, and we'd have these blank spaces. I eliminated all of that with an update. So delete the one you have, reload this one. It should work for you. Good morning, Wyatt. Preben, I wouldn't change anything. If it's on zeros on both lines, you're talking about the volume spike, correct? You're talking about right here, these two lines. They should be on 0.0, both of them. And you should never have to change them again. And you never mess with the pullback settings. That's the new indicator from yesterday. Never mess with any of this. And on the Momo, it stays on 3 minutes. Right here, it stays on 3 minutes. Include extended hours is checked. And never change it again. Scott, it's been about 15 years ago, I guess. I think I'm still learning coding. I really do. I don't think you ever quit learning coding. Just when I think I got it something right, it don't work. Then you got to figure out what's wrong. What did you do? You know how to do this. I do love a challenge, and I don't quit till I accomplish what I set out to do. It's like this volume spike. I never gave up. 6 months to get this working on the simplest code I ever wrote because I overthunk it. Peter, I'm actually self-taught. You can get a code book from ThinkorSwim. You can start reading about codes. You can visit other YouTube channels about codes. You can visit website about codes. The information is kind of all over the place. I even tore into other people's codes through the years. How did he do that? What did he use to make that happen? It's a big learning process. Sometimes I even have to reach out to this day to another coder and say, what am I doing wrong here? Or they'll reach out to me and say, hey, you forgot to put the length in there. It's calculating everything all day long. Could you add a length to it? So really the only thing I did outside of coding was I took ThinkorSwim outside the box. I went away from what everybody else was doing, and they were all using lagging indicators that printed a roadmap of the past, and I wanted a prediction of the future. That's why I took it this direction. I don't care what's already happened. I can't go back there and buy it. I want to know what's currently fixing to happen. And that's what these indicators do. Peter, it's a good thing to learn, but if you only intend to use it on ThinkorSwim, don't try to learn all of the coding. Just try to learn ThinkorSwim's coding. Especially if you're not going to go out, create an empire or a company to code. Just do the ThinkScript stuff. Might want to learn PineScript too. That's with TradingView. I've been trying to pick up on PineScript. It's way different, similar but different. And take your time. It took me forever to learn it. So we're probably going to get one pumping up a little bit here. They usually do that. SSNT could be pumped up here for $1 or so. There it goes. And then they'll sell it off on you, so be careful. If you chase this, you could get stung. This is what I was talking about. They'll pump one or two of them up a few minutes after 8. And before the market opens, they'll sell it off real fast, and it'll get a big red candle. These are things you learn. The more you pay attention, the more you show up here, the more you pick up on. You may not pick up on it the first 2 or 3 times you hear it, but if you hear me repeat it enough, maybe the seed will get planted. That was a nice little bump up right there. Robert, in my honest opinion, I think the people are the algo. It takes buyers and sellers to move a stock. There is some algo there because they would not pull back down on a resistance line, or they wouldn't pull back up on a support. So something is triggering that part. But I think the investors, the buyers, and the sellers have a lot of influence on that as well. Maybe that we've been told so many times that, hey, it's at this level, it's going to go back down. Maybe we're all still focusing there when we do pull the trigger on a stock. I don't care as long as we can call them out. I don't care how it happens. So if you haven't liked the stream this morning, please do that. Give me that little bit of favor. Make YouTube pay for my coffee tomorrow. Make sure you subscribe to the YouTube channel. That helps you and me. Let you know whenever I update something or put a new indicator out. Also helps me earn a few pennies from YouTube. We all need to work together to keep this thing going. I'm actually still in the hole from creating it. I'll catch up soon. Not really worried about it. I know the Lord will bless me. It'll come back because I'm helping all of you. I'm blessing everyone while He blesses me. Yeah, I'm working on the t-shirt thing. I just had the weekend and the launch of a new indicator. I didn't have the time. Had to pay some attention to the wife. Look at this percentage up here. Are y'all seeing this? It's up 15,460%. Is that a scary thought or what? So this is either a buyout offer or a split. One or the other. Good job, Melanie. It's probably news. I haven't looked at it. I don't normally follow news. I follow spikes. Yeah, right here. I'm going to take another 5-minute break here. I'll be back shortly. All right, I am back. We'll go ahead and set up for the market open. Now, which ones do I want to put up here? I think I still want to stick with that 50-minute one. That is a good one right here. Down here, really need to leave it on all stocks, but I'm going to try the new scan. And over here, I'm going to put all stocks. And I got to shorten this up a little bit so I can see the list. Because I want to watch the top ones. So you're going to want to watch these top stocks up here. These are the ones you're going to be either chasing green candles, which I don't suggest, or waiting on pullbacks. You should get some pullbacks down here at market open. I don't know how it's going to respond right when the market opens. It may take 2 or 3 minutes, maybe 5 minutes before it finds a pullback. It will find them though. Looks like I don't have the little up arrow there. Let me put it real quick. Move this over. I'm going to take RVOL off for now. I'm going to move this pullback up to the volume spike there. Oh, it was there. Was I wrong or what? Why didn't I see that? Oh, there it is. Okay. That one's on me. I'm losing my brain. It is. It's just like the pullback scan, but it's watching the candles for you. The scan itself is watching for a red candle. This one is watching for it to pull up. So it's going to tell you up. So the scan is also looking for the green candle after the red ones. This was confirmation of it right here. The up is in the TOS scripts. The scan is in TOS scans. And they're both on the bottom. So you can see it's starting to fire up. I'm not going to be too accurate at market open. It has to calm down, calculate which ones are going up, which ones are pulling back. You have to load it into the watch list. It's a separate install. I explained that in the video. It's like most of you didn't watch the entire video. Oh, the video's out. I'm going to grab the indicator. You can't do that. I put instructions in those videos. It's all right. I got you back yesterday, though. I directed you to go watch the video instead of telling you what to do. You guys got to save me some time. If it's in the video, you don't have to bother me and I can continue on with my life. I think SSNT is going to be the mover today. For some reason, that's my gut feeling. It could bump up to 10 or 11. It is working its way up and down. It's moving back and forth. Just watch the blue line, you'll see. 6 seconds. Good luck to everybody. This is going to be very volatile, so be ready. Be careful here. Very volatile at open. You don't know if it's going up or down. Don't even trust the indicators yet. They're not stabilized. Mainly need to watch price action right now. You can see the buyers on the bottom here. Sellers are trying to drive it down. They're buying it up. They're trying. There's a spike arrow. It may not stay. You can see the sellers outnumbered the buyers here. You can see sellers and sellers. So that's SSNT. Let's check the pullback. They're still running up. They're not pulling back yet. That's why there's no ups here. So it's watching for pullbacks. I'm going to go back to SSNT. I don't want to miss it. If it turns around and runs up, it's big money in this one. And I could sit here and watch it while everything else runs up. That happens too. So if you see something on your computer, that's where you should be trading. Focus on what you have, not what I'm doing. I'm watching for my money. You watch for yours. Same scenario as we played in pre-market. Wait for pullbacks. Put in your support and resistance levels at the top and the bottom of the candles. This one's continuing to sell off. The SPY is finally making a little bounce up after a big pullback in pre-market. See, SSNT has pretty much disappeared off the chart. Still waiting on a pullback here. So we have a red candle with a green one. We do have an up, but this is not pretty at all. And it's pennies. And it disappeared. That one's not pretty. This was a pullback back here, but I just now refreshed, so I didn't have it before the refresh. You might have. Did it bounce up or halt going down? Let me pull it up. I'm curious. It halted going down. That was okay, as long as I didn't miss the bounce. The shorters were on that one because it was such a profitable stock. And they knew it had been run up in pre-market, so they wanted to run it down at market open. CVNA still going here. This is the one I said that was a pullback, but I saw it late. So here's another pullback working had you been watching it, not like me and not watching it. It's first in the list on the pullback scanner. Dippy, it's one of my favorites. I like to try to catch it low and buy a lot of shares and ride it up. It has a very good ATR at times. Easy to pick up 50 cents, 60 cents, sometimes $1. Quite expensive. I need to lower the price down in mine. I don't buy $200 stocks. $5 to $50 is my favorite range. Let's take a look at Mara real quick. Mara's pulling back. For a while there, you could pick this stock up at $7, and within a week, it was back to 10, 12, 11. It was doing that every week. And then some weeks it wouldn't move 30 cents. Then it would be back to its normal and swing $1. Not seeing any ups. The SPY is really not overperforming. It's kind of like floating with a red candle. Yeah, but if you remember, it was just like $9, $8 a week ago or 2 weeks ago, and it's at 15. Can't tell me that's not performance, right? Thinking we were at $10 last week, maybe 12, but we're at 15 now. I don't know about holding it. I think I'd rather play it each day as it happens. Don't trust this market at all. BIEW was floating along on the bottom, decided to take off. The cheaper stock may be a pullback right here. See, in this case, this red candle needs to pull down to about half of this one, somewhere in this area. So somewhere right in here, just like I said, right there. Now, if that candle closes, it should bounce up. And it closed. And then we should see a bounce up. It's trying. Will it make it? It is showing weakness. I think I would take that. It didn't happen. I would get out. And then it'll go up. But you're not in the hole if you took that. It just didn't work out. Yeah, we were watching CVNA earlier. It was a nice run. Did SSNT continue to sell off? Bouncing down there on the bottom. Green line below the red. The moving averages are reversed. White's supposed to be above blue. Everything's supposed to be above orange. So this could be a pullback right here on BYND. It's kind of more candles pulling back than I prefer. So about 25 cents between the lines. We need to see a volume spike here and an up signal. There's the volume spike. And it went away. Probably not worth the risk. Taking too long to get there. SPY is not doing anything. It's kind of just channeling to the right. Lots of red in the market on both scans. Chewy, CHWY, 850 to 1943. There's $1 in this run since open. So these are pretty good stocks here. If you see these little red candles, that's a continuation candle. As long as the price is above this 5, this stock's probably going to do this for a little bit, or it may have already done it for a little bit. But it could continue if this is a small red candle. So whenever you see a stock like this on about a 45-degree angle, little candles, and a small red one, your entries will be on the red ones. as it continues to rise. As long as they're not big red candles, you're good to go. So SSNT is going to be volatile, I guess. And the reason they're controlling it is because there's a lot of money between the numbers. If you notice, they're dollars and not 15 cents. They are actual dollars. So the spreads will be high, I'm sure. This is why I prefer pre-market. We don't have to deal with these halts. You can just run. This was our first run this morning right here. But now we got to deal with the emotional traders over here. The market is dying. Ruth, ThinkorSwim doesn't give us the resumption on halts. I wish they did. Maybe Schwab will implement it one day. There's a different stock with that same small red candles as it continues to rise. That one's pretty volatile. That's SoFi we were watching earlier. That's AFRM. Rivian is another one of my favorites. It stays on my watch list. Hasn't been paying out very well lately. So if you were only trading Mara and you had the patience to just wait on the reversals all day, you'll probably get 2 or 3 swings out of this stock for you to play all day. Ruth, it's not available in ThinkorSwim. You can probably get it on one of the other streaming services. I think there's a free one out there. I don't remember the name, but some of the other traders use it. You have to ask one of them in one of the trading rooms, how are you receiving halt signals and resumptions? They'll tell you. Well, I hope they will. We're all helping each other, so I'm sure they will. Looks like the market's dying out on us. Closer we get to 9 o'clock, the slower it gets. I'd rather do pre-market over again. Better than sorting through the mess of everything that's falling, trying to find out the few winners that are going up. Just as a word of caution, don't promote other companies in my stream, please. I'm trying to build mine, not steer them off in another direction. And I understand you're just sharing tools, but I don't mind if you do that in a direct message. But not in my live stream. SSNT trying to go back up there. The spread is not too bad. It keeps fluctuating back and forth. Probably going to go into another halt. Here comes the other halt. And we're in a halt. I don't like getting caught in the traps like that. I'm going to move on from it. You guys can play it if you want to, but I'm done with it. Market's kind of dying out. We'll start focusing on some other scans as well. I'll do that, Flo. Thank you, go for it. Maybe one day we'll have that. Maybe I can find an add-on somewhere. We'll stick it on our Discord. But everything costs lots of money. It's not cheap anymore. The SPY is not allowing us to get any pullbacks. The SPY is red. It's coming down a little. Everything's kind of just floating right. No strong reversals. There's one right there, but no volume. If we had some volume, we may can get this up to fire. Thank you, Michael. Glad I could be of help. Keep seeing HA called out occasionally. Maybe I should pay attention, right? Looks like a good one to play dips on. Probably pretty much over now, though. GME breaking through resistance. If it turns around and becomes support to run up to another level, that would be the entry. So right now we want it to go up, come back down, retest 1625 or 23, and then bounce up for the next level. It is at a high, very possibly could happen. Not a whole lot of money in GME. It's more like nickels to the number. Or to the tick, I should say. It is slightly bullish. Now we need a reversal back down to this level. But that's not going to leave much room for movement between here. Probably not a good one to be watching. I will move on from here, but there's nothing to move on to. FTCH. Yeah, SSNT is a high volatility play. Our money would have been in pre-market. That's where we first saw it moving. It wouldn't have been so volatile then. That's why I prefer pre-market. I don't like fighting the volatility. But we had our shot at it this morning before market even opened. GME keeping a strong footing here, could creep up slowly. I don't like those kind. I don't like waiting forever. I'd rather save the money for tomorrow morning. Hit them hard. Don't talk so much. Make a trade. See you later, Jim. God bless, brother. Hope to see you tomorrow. See you later, MY. God bless you. SPY is still pulling back a little. We're probably not going to get any good plays from now till 9:30. Unless something rare happens. I mean, it's after 9 at the top of the hour. That would have been when the news was coming out. Otherwise, we're just going to have these bouncers till 9:30. We could get one to play eventually. SPY is pulling back. It's kind of holding the market back. Not giving us a bunch of good stocks in the new pullback scan because of the market pulling back. No bullish here, no bullish here. Actually, I'm looking at all the scans, no bullish anywhere. very slow volume on SBSW. That would be high flyers or gap and run. We can change over to high flyers here. So on high flyers, you wait for this number 1 to take off right here, because pretty much all of these are going up. That's how this scan works. If you've never been here before and saw me do this, they're looking weak this morning, but they're not down, right? So anywhere I click, if I just random click, I should get one that's not falling, and they should be going up. So you kind of wait on this first one to really take off. BYND, we've seen that stock earlier. This is telling me that this stock is all lined up, that the 5 is above the 13, the 13 is above the 21, the 21 moving average is above the 34, and the 34 is above the 50, etc. And the price is above the 5. This it tells me that these stocks are going to continue going up because everything lines up. So that one's going up. This one's going up. This one's going up. This one's going up. Not as much as the other ones, but it's going up. And you can see the moving averages are all stacked. So they're in the proper order, 5, 13, 34. I don't have the other ones on here, but they're stacked. Martina, you have to add it manually. When I say manually, you go to Studies, Edit Studies, type in EXP here for X potential, move one of these over, then you click the gear icon, and you change the width to 2, the color to the color of your choice. On these up and down signals, you do not need them, so click on each one and uncheck Show Plot on both and say OK and apply. And you'll have it on your chart right there. I use it as a trend indicator for day trading. It's not as slow as the 50 or the 100 or the 200. It gives me the trend by the angle of the 34. I can tell you this market is really struggling because these stocks are usually really rocking, like doing their thing, and they're not as impressive this morning. So the market is getting hit by something that's holding it back. Look at that volatility. How could you even hang on to that? So let's pull up the gap and run. Let's look at those stocks. So in gap and run, these stocks opened up, the price opened up higher than Friday's close. So this opening price was higher than the close on Friday. So it gapped up at open. That's a gap and run. This one gapped up, but then gapped down. This one gapped up higher than Friday's close. It did pull back. Could have possibly played a pullback here. So you may not necessarily see a gap here. The gap was between this price and the one on Friday. So you're not viewing that on a chart. Go back to high flyers. And it did not load. What happened here? That one loaded. High flyers. There we go. Is it still halting? Is it a chase halt day for SSNT? I think it's going to calm down from here. There's probably definitely some plays throughout the day on it. Brad Dad, at least you recovered. That would have been devastating, down $900. The most important part of that trade was you learned what you did wrong. So write it down in your journal. Don't do this. And read it to yourself every day. See you later, Domingo. Have a good one. God bless. Yeah, GME been bouncing all over the place. Probably going to pull back here and bounce up again. I can almost assure you, unless you sit here all day and wait for something to happen, you have a long day ahead of you. I don't. I'm not going to trade past 9:30. I might occasionally look at it, but I'm not going to sit here and be real serious about it. The whole thing is, don't try to create a play. Let the strategy set up. You know the strategy works. If you've been here numerous mornings, you've seen it work over and over. So you know the strategy works. So now you just have to wait for the strategy to set up, then pull the trigger. And if you're still wrong, then you know you did everything right and it just didn't work out. Just make sure in those instances you immediately get out, take a small loss. You did everything correct. But sometimes the market's like that. You can't predict it. Even though the setup was perfect, it can go wrong. Scott, I'm not giving it till 10. I might not even give it till 9:30. I almost called it earlier. I'm easily bored. Nice man, I'll give you the link. Promise me you're going to subscribe to the YouTube channel. That's where I get supported. So the only thing you're going to get by sitting here all day is a wider butt. I figured that out already. A flatter and wider butt. You can fund human, that little $ square box down below where you type in. That's where you click and then click Super Chat and you can donate there. Thank you, Mr. Rodriguez, for your participation. You're here quite often and it's greatly appreciated. So have a blessed day. Thank you, Fun Human. And God bless you as well. We're all here to make money, so join me tomorrow. You'll make up that $50. That's not a promise, but it can happen. And I know you're a fairly good trader. You'll recover that in nothing flat. Fletch, glad you could join us. Come participate every morning. I want to show you the magic. I won't even have to prove it to you. It'll prove itself. Thank you, Jim. Very much appreciated. So if you haven't subscribed to my YouTube channel, help me support this channel, both channels actually, by subscribing to YouTube and watching the videos over on YouTube. I earn a little bit of commission. And YouTube loves it that you watch commercials, so watch them too. So subscribe to my YouTube channel. There's the link. In the description of every video is a link to our Discord. If you want to refer somebody over to us, send them a video. Say, watch this. Send them this morning's video. Tell them to watch at 6 a.m. That'll impress them. And just tell them there's a link to join our Discord in the description and you're done. Welcome back anytime. See how that just fit? Welcome back anytime. So for now, here's a link to the Discord, but if you click on this Discord, make sure that you subscribe to YouTube as well. Well, I hope I taught everybody something this morning, and I know there's a lot of you who are here every morning. Those are the ones that need to start bringing breakfast because we get hungry while we're doing this. I wish we could do that anyway. If it's your first time here, appreciate you joining us. Hopefully you were here to catch pre-market and made a few dollars. If you didn't click the mouse, I bet you were totally shocked to see stocks like this going up. And really shocked that we don't go searching for them, that they come to us. And probably even more shocked that I'm sitting here walking you through it candle by candle for free. But it's all called a blessing. I'm stepping off the plate. I'm going to second base with this, third base, and then home. Taking it to the top with or without you. Come join me. Only thing it's going to do is put money in your pocket. You're all welcome. Thank you for the kind comments. I really appreciate it. So if you don't know what these indicators do and you're just now getting here, there'll be a replay of this video as soon as the live stream is over. Just head over to the YouTube channel, click the live tab. It should be the first video there that says it's only 30 minutes old or 10 minutes or 5. And watch around 6:30, 6:25 where I introduce myself and walk you through these indicators. If you want to watch some stocks that really took off this morning, start watching at 6 o'clock. It's all for profit in your pocket. Just pay attention. Thank you, Flo, and God loves people like you who participate. And God bless you. Thank you, Charles W. Glad that you could come on board with us. I mean, take it this way. Every morning is not this great, but we do have some really great mornings. Wouldn't you rather be done trading by 8:30? Break out the fishing pole. Go take your wife somewhere. Go eat lunch, courtesy of the market profits. Take your laptop with you, go on vacation, tune in every morning for pre-market and pay for that vacation as you're traveling. I do that on occasion. Now I'm trying to figure out how I'm going to do it because we got so popular. Trump, that's very kind of you. The Lord has already handed me all of you. That's the payoff I was looking for. But if you want to boost it, that's up to you. That's fine. Thank you. Joe, probably 8 months, but it didn't really take off until the last 3 or 4 months, I'm going to say. I'm going to say the last 4 months, people started catching on that it was for real. Now we're getting, like yesterday, over 100 people in one day. Of course, they're all at work now, so not everybody, the flow is not going to be as high as yesterday and Saturday. I think we picked up a couple hundred over the weekend, which is a very good blessing. Old Thumb, you've been here a while. And if you're new here, you can go beyond me. Start asking around in Discord, is this guy for real? I actually want you to do that. Do these indicators work? Ask them that question. Can they really find stocks? What's good is you guys get to say the same thing. And if you want to learn how to trade, come over here and look at this. It's really something to be proud of. I really don't like the word proud, but come look at this blessing. Yeah, combine them. I don't care how you use them. Just make them work for you because they're really powerful. I did, Jim, on Thanksgiving. If you haven't loaded it since Thanksgiving, you need to reload it. You're welcome, Habanero. All right, my time is up. I really appreciate you guys being here, and I'm sure you'll be here tomorrow. If you've seen what happened this morning, let's try to keep this ball rolling. It's been 3 days in a row. Thursday, Friday, and Saturday, we've had some good stock plays. Let's see if we can carry it over into Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. which would be great. Not likely, but great. One more day will help, as long as it's a good one and we can get $1 or so out of it. So as always, appreciate you joining us. Make sure to subscribe to our YouTube, join our Discord. Have a very blessed trading day. If you're already into profit, then you know what you should do is lock the door and turn off the computer and wait till tomorrow morning. As of now, have a blessed day. And as always, God bless. Love you guys. Bye-bye.